Flipping on the grind.
What's going on? It's your boy Marcus Q.
It's your boy AV.
And this is the Map Social Presents
Dirty Laundry Podcast.
We got a special guest in the house tonight.
Yes,
sir. We got my boy Tighten Up Chuck in the building.
What's good, man? How y'all feeling?
AKA Charles,
Good,
fitness
man.
trainer.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
NASM-CPT, nutrition coach, online coach.
Yes, sir.
Fitness guru.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
what we doing?
Yes, sir.
Dallas
That's
in the
how-
building?
That's how we rocking, man. How y'all feeling?
D-Town. Hey,
Dallas, LSU.
Dallas and LSU.
He gonna get it all that.
Don't start it early, man. Don't start early.
We've been trying to get you in here, man.
Man, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
Finally
for
get in the building,
Yeah,
man.
that's what's up. I'm glad to have you here. We about to pick your brain about a lot of fitness things.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
ready?
sir. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's get it started. So,
Wait, first and foremost, I want to give y'all flowers, man, because like I love what y'all doing with the Map Social. I love what y'all doing with the podcast. So I need
Appreciate
to
that.
need to show
hey,
love, man.
man,
when we
that's the
can.
first time we got our flowers, man.
Hey,
man.
hey, man.
It ain't think it was gonna
It's
come from
different,
Charles,
bro.
man.
It's
We got our
different over
flowers
here.
from
It's different over
Somebody
here.
better recognize.
Yes, sir,
Nah,
man. I
appreciate
love what
it.
y'all doing though, for real,
Thanks,
man.
man.
I love it, man.
Trying to keep
So,
it- keep
how long you
honest.
been in the fitness game?
This is year 6, man. Year 6 as a trainer. Yes, sir.
Okay, what was the profession before that?
U.S. military, bro. I was in the Army.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you
cool.
for your service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Army.
It was lit.
How many years you did?
I did 5, man.
5
I
years.
did 5. Yes,
Gotcha.
sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
good.
That's where it started. That's where it all started, man. And then after I tore my ACL and I got out the military, it was like, man, I'm getting out of shape. I can't be looking like this at 26, man. Like this is something got to shake.
Yeah.
So I did the research behind it, got it certified officially. I was training in the Army and then flipped over. And then once I got certified, I was like, if I can rehabilitate myself, I want to do that for somebody else. So it's like that's what started. And, got
And
the
that's
ball
you fitness full time now, right?
fitness full time
Already.
Ain't no
Over there
looking
at
back.
Diamond Cut?
Yep,
Diamond Cut Athlete?
Diamond Cut Athlete Gym over there in North Austin off 183 and Anderson Mills. So yeah,
How'd you get with them? Did they approach you, or you heard about it and you was like, I'm about to go over here and make this work?
man, crazy story. Like when I found like I was overseas training, right? So I had a job overseas contracting as a trainer, and then I was like, all right, I accomplished all my goals that I wanted to do overseas. So I was like, I need to look for a job back at home if I'm gonna come back to Texas. And then so I'm throwing my application out everywhere, not getting nothing. And then this job, they hit me up, got my resume. They were like, hey, I love what you're doing and everything that you represent. It's a black-owned business. And I was like, all right,
Okay.
cool. Dude, I came here on my birthday. I'm talking about the day I flew in. I grabbed my car from Dallas, drove down to Austin, had an interview the next day on my birthday.
That's what's up.
And then the rest is history, man. It was, like I said, black-owned business. They want to approach you as like, you're not a trainer here, bro. You're your own business. They want to teach you how to run your business, how to scale, how to promote you as an individual, as a businessman, not as a trainer.
Okay.
And every gym that I've worked at or done before, they've never done that. You're just an employee,
Yes,
but
sir.
they're your only CEO. So
Training for 6 years. Where did you train prior?
everything was freelance, man. I was training out of apartment gyms. I was doing camps and sand volleyball courts. Like I was doing everything just to get a check.
Yeah.
So like it was cool, but it was like one of those. It started slow and then it started picking up because I didn't know how to brand myself properly.
Is there a part about that you miss being outside of a gym and doing your thing like that, or you just that's your past and you learn from it?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. It's my past, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm grateful for it because it puts you in a situation of grind mode. So it's like it teaches you like, hey, bro, the rent's still due. So it's like, how you gonna get yourself out there if you're a brand new trainer in Dallas? And there's a lot of black people. There's a lot of black trainers who are 6'1".
Yeah.
Who's black and got beards, bro. So it's like, how can you feel me?
Can't do the brand. For
Yeah,
that.
I never
yeah.
thought about it like that, but hey,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta make your own image, right?
Yeah, you gotta.
When you had your first client, were you certified?
Yeah, I was.
Can you talk about that feeling of, okay, so when you had your first client, I don't want to jump around too much. Was it a one-on-one session? You was coming to meet them, you was pulling up on them, or what? Were they coming to meet you, or where was it at?
So I had a really nice apartment gym.
Okay.
It had a lot more equipment than the standard gym. So they were coming to me because they live close.
Nice.
And my first client, I actually went to high school with them. I'm 31. So I went to high school with them back in the day.
Gotcha.
And they loved my workouts. And they were like, hey, I love what you're doing. I hate my workout regimen. I want something different because I love your videos. And I was like, oh, bet. Come through. So they pulled up on me at my apartment.
Got you. Was there any nerve wracking there? Like, damn, I got my first client. I hope I do well. Like, what am I even gonna have?
Yeah,
to
how'd you
train?
feel about
Yeah.
that?
Oh man, there's always jitters with your first client because you're like, one, they're paying you. And it's like you gotta remember, like they taking some out their paycheck, they paying their rent, they got bills, they got everything, and they're trusting you to change them. So it's like that pressure's still there, but at the same time, it's like, bro, they're trusting you to be you. They love you for who you are. So if you lock in on that thought of like, they trust you for your creativity and that you know what you're doing. And so when you lock in, it's like, all right, bro, now you can start experimenting because you know what you're doing. You're certified.
Yeah.
And that's how it was, man. So it's like.
And then this was in Dallas, right?
This was in Dallas.
So how long were you training in Dallas? Like,
that was about 2.5 years. 2.5 years in Dallas.
Do you feel like now that here in Austin, do you feel like there's a different vibe as far as like clients? Like, how do you go about that?
Oh, absolutely. In Dallas, I'm not gonna lie to you, the game is kind of saturated. I mean, shout out to all my homies in Dallas, I'm sorry. But like the game is saturated out there. They don't really do it for the purpose. I'm a trainer with purpose. I'm intentional about what I do. Out there, it's like they want to go to the person that has 100,000 followers.
It's more social media driven.
It's more like social media driven. Out here, it's like, hey, bro, they're really authentic. People out here got bread.
Yeah.
So it's like these clients out here, they're like, I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care if you have 2 or 200,000. Can you help me accomplish my goals? I'm not gonna sit here and pay you this bread if you're not gonna do it. So it's like it's a whole different dynamic. The clients out here are I want to say they're more, you know, one, they're about their business. The clients that I train now are way different than the ones that I trained in Dallas. These people got 6-figure jobs, bringing in 7 figures a year in their household. So it's like they got FU money. That's what we call it. Like they got money to blow, but at the same time they're like, hey, bro, I want you to help me get there.
That's what's up.
Is there a level of responsibility that you feel like you need to take when you dealing with clients like that? Like, I know they got the bread. You always want to make sure they get their results, but they spending big money, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel that pressure when they book you? Like, damn, let me make sure that I keep this client because I know they got it like that. They could just go to somebody else.
Absolutely. You want to, because it keeps you on your P's and Q's, honestly, because when you charging what you charge, I'm not going to say my amount. You got to come holler at me if you want to know what that is. But like, if you're going to charge what you charge, you got to be able to back it up.
Yeah, yes,
and it's just like, it's a part of you just standing on business and saying, hey, look, I'm going to hold you accountable. It's my job. I got to keep this interesting. I got to solve the problem that I said I was going to solve for you. You came to me with a problem and I told you I have the solution. I have to deliver no matter what. So it's a constant state of growth and it's a constant state of learning. So
one thing I saw of yours that first of all, I love anybody that is like trying to do physical fitness, but they're keeping it fun.
Yeah.
They're keeping it like, hey, we all have our own lives. So I think you do a great job of that. I know you be pushing yourself to keep doing that, so keep going with that.
Yes, sir.
One thing I really like was your mobility.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they don't really go with the mobility, and I'm trying to also like get more into that and just push myself.
Absolutely.
But how did you come across getting with the mobility as far as like range of motion besides just, I'm trying to build my muscles up?
How it started was, it's like once I got here, like I said, the CEO of the gym that I work at, he's all about how to run a business for you, and it's identifying a pain point. So when you're looking at your client and your target market, it's like you got to look at what are pain points that you know that you fix or that you know you have the knowledge to fix. So when you're looking at it, it's like, hey, I have a client that has lower back pain. Or you're looking at the market, hell, what happened after COVID? Millions of people had work from home jobs. That's a target market right there. So you got to think about like, hey, these people work from home, they're sitting down for 8 to 9 hours a day. What's the most common pain point for people who sit down? They got tight hamstrings, they got tight hips, they got lower back pain. How can I fix that problem? It's an easy fix.
Is that your specialty, sports enhancement and corrective exercise? Is that your strong suit?
Absolutely. I think body composition, which means like turning the fat that you have into muscle, losing fat, and then corrective exercise, just learning how to train properly and move your body so from when you were stiff to be able to be mobile and do the things like functional training.
Why do you believe, I believe this, and tell me if you believe it, I think a lot of people in fitness, I'm big into working out. Why is it so intimidating for the average person? Like just going to the gym, why is that so intimidating?
It's pressure of, one, they don't want to be embarrassed. Any gym you go to in public right now, everybody got a tripod out. Everybody got a camera out. They don't want to be that person in the background looking stupid. So it's like fear of not having enough knowledge and not having enough confidence in themselves to be able to say like, I can go to the gym independently and not look stupid. So if you can, so what we do is we just, reverse engineer that. Hey, look, I'm going to teach you what it takes to be able to go out to any gym, not look dumb, be effective with your workouts and be able to maintain this type of body and goal on your own. right?
How important is it to have patience as a trainer when you're dealing with clients? I want you to talk about that.
It's, man, one, you gotta know your target market. Patience is probably like top 3, right? You gotta have patience because you gotta know your audience, because you can have a dude who comes in and he's 40 years old and he wants you to be able to like, hey, just work me. I don't care what you do. I trust you. But then you have a kid who's 9, who has no clue what's going on, has no sense of his body. And you got to be like, all right, lock in. And it's just like, hey, bro, that can get frustrating. But what did you sign up for? At the end of the day, you're a trainer. You got to learn patience. It's customer service.
Do you feel like do a lot of your clients, is they fall in a certain age range?
Man.
Or and also, do you have a preference?
Yeah. So like I said, identifying your target market, man, you got to start with who would you want your ideal client to be as a trainer, right? If you were on the outside, who is the perfect person for you? Who's that avatar? For me, it's like I look at my Instagram of who connects most with me. I have like 3 separate groups. So it's like, I don't want to say I'm universal, but I am, because I have some of my clients are kids from 8 to 12 years old. I got 2 kids who are in high school. I got people who are doctors who are 38 and 40. And then I have women. So it's like, you got to see the crowd that you appease to, and then target and then layer up and say, hey, look, this is a target market that I want to do. But you have to be able to switch gears to your tier of patients, like, and then be able to make that call on the go. So,
Okay, so just to be clear,
right there.
Just to be clear, y'all, this can be verified. I've seen him train ages, very young children upwards to older individuals. You have this on your page, right? I'm gonna drop the Instagram handle, but you can actually verify and see him training these people, athletic training, doing corrective exercises, helping people gain muscle and lose that fat. All you gotta do is go over there and check him out. One thing I want to make sure that we touch on is, you talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but I want people to really understand why fitness for you. Like, what was that aha moment? Like, damn, I'm a professional trainer for real. Not I got my certification, but this is my career. This is what I'm gonna do. And now I realize I'm in the thick of it. So why fitness? You know what I mean?
So you want to know, like, not like a backstory, but like, how did I know that was like,
that was
all my eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
Dude, I posted about this a couple months back. Man, I had a conversation with a dude in a bar, man. This is when I had no job. Fresh out the military, I had no job. And it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm visiting my homeboy at a bar that he worked at. I had a conversation with this dude. He had like flip-flops, cargo shorts, and like a polo on. I was like, hey man, what are you doing right now? Like, he was like 50, 55. And I was like, what are you doing right now? He's like, man, I'm off for the rest of the day. I was like, you're off for the rest of the day? Most people at 55 are working right now. And he was like, yeah, I own 2 businesses. And I was like, all right, so like, what do you do to be able to sit here and be off at 2:00 in the afternoon? And he was like, hey bro, like, go home, get a piece of paper, write down the 3 things that you can do with the least amount of effort and be most successful in. And working out was the first thing. First thing I thought of. And then obviously secondary and tertiary would be like, after that. But the first thing was working out. And then he said, once you figure out number 1, I want you to find out what you need to do to get there. Find somebody that's like in that field, and then learn what it's like to be successful, learn what it's like to learn the business, learn what it's like to be lucrative in that field. And then once I got my first client, and like I said, get that first client, that's when I knew it was the one, because when I had her, like I said, she was active. She was working out 5 times a week. And I got her to lose 27 to 30 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was like, after that, I was like, oh,
I could do this.
Oh, this is it. Oh, this worked. I was like, this isn't even my bag. I wasn't even deep in my bag with that one. I was just doing stuff that I would do if I was bored in the gym. But that's when I figured out, I was like, oh, I might be on to something.
Another fact check, I heard that story before. So
I remember. I was like, let me see what he said this time. I knew
you're keeping it 100.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
How important do you feel like content is? Everything's so virtual, right?
Yes, sir.
Everything is so media driven. Your social media is more important than your actual life to a lot of people.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that being in business.
Absolutely.
How important is your content when trying to appeal to clients and get clients and just be more appealing to people in the fitness room? How important is that? And what do you do to make sure you stay sharp in that?
In content?
Yeah.
I think content, first of all, is extremely important. Right now, just for the business that I'm in, it's extremely important. You got to be able to appease to the crowd that you're trying to attract. So if I have a target market and I have pain points that I want to sit here and say, I can help you solve that problem, I want to base my content on my page around those problems that I solve. But it's extremely important, man. And it's hard looking back at it. It's like, it's really hard to sit here and just let your creativity take the flow of everything. You have to build a schedule. Like, I made a business plan for the whole entire year. I don't have New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in that. You make a business plan like, I'm gonna touch on these points. If I'm gonna make 12 videos in the month of January, 3 of them are gonna be like this, 3 of them are gonna be like this, 3 of them are gonna be like this, and we're gonna go from there. You gotta build a schedule for your content if you wanna approach the crowd.
If you had, let's say you full with clients, they're your priority, they actual clients. Do you feel a responsibility to keep making sure you stay sharp online, even if you don't necessarily have to or need to?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie to you, half of my clients came from Instagram. They saw a post and was like, I love that. Can you help me with this? Have you ever trained a kid with the same problem? Have you ever done this? And I was like, yeah, I can. One is, even if I didn't, it's a challenge to myself. It's like, hey, look, if I can solve this problem for them, it's only testimonial for them, and it's helpful for me to grow my business. So it's like, yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, man, it's like the content comes first. It's like all the they help you. And if you let them know, hey, look, I'm doing this content, you met me off social media. So if you can help me and I can achieve your goal, why can't we put this on the internet? And like 90% of them are like, bro, bet, post my stuff.
Of course.
And that's why I have fun with my clients and I put those videos on Instagram.
I'm gonna hit you with this. I'm curious what you're gonna say. If it wasn't training, right? I don't know if you had an idea or I thought I was gonna do this, but what would it be if it wasn't physical training?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Did you have something before?
Yeah, so when I was in the Army, I was a healthcare specialist. So I worked in a clinic in a hospital. So I was like, I already knew like my goal was gonna be to help people in some way, shape, or form, whether it be healthcare or whether it be training. But I saw the dark end of what healthcare can actually provide. Like, pharmaceuticals is crazy. The world behind what you don't see behind medicine is wild. So I didn't know if I could get down with it, to be honest with you. It was like, if I had to fall back on that, it wouldn't be as, passionate. I wouldn't be as passionate about it. I'd just be, clocking.
You feel like there was an integrity issue there.
Absolutely.
It would have bothered you internally?
All the time, every single day. And it's just like, how can I help people achieve their goals while still having fun? I don't feel like I'm going to work.
Good.
And that's the goal for us as adults. It's like, hey, bro, we want to do our passion and make it not feel like it's work.
And it, like, you expressed like how Diamond Cut was for you, like why you fit in.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, why Diamond Cut? Why would a person want to go to Diamond Cut versus another fitness center?
As a trainer or as a client?
As a client.
As a client, man, because it's a culture thing. It's like a one-stop shop, bro. We have a trainer that can do literally anything. If it's not me, it's somebody else. We have 6 trainers in there that can literally solve any problem that you have. There's too much knowledge in there, and they just want to help you grow. I've been to a lot of events in Austin as far as fitness. I've been to a lot of gyms. I've talked to a lot of trainers since I've been here. And the environment that we have is just, even as small as our studio is, it's so different because it's a culture thing, bro. We're building a family. It's not transactional. Our thing is, man, we want to build a family. I want to know what you're doing outside of this session. What you doing after this? What you got going for the weekend?
Dope.
So we build relationship, bro. And that comes first. Behind all the knowledge that we have, behind all the expertise that we have in our fields, respectively, it all comes down to community and for the culture, bro. We love everybody that comes in, and you don't feel like you're doing a workout and leaving.
Got you.
It's time for you to be stumped. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. I'm a client. I'm walking in the Diamond Cut.
Okay.
I heard about you online.
All right.
I come to you. I specifically want to train with you. I got a certain schedule I want to keep, but I also come to you and I say, hey, I want to build a lot of muscle mass, but I don't want to use free weights. I don't want to touch weights that much. I don't really want to mess with those. That's not really my thing. What's your response to that?
What have you done in the past that didn't work?
What have I done in the past that didn't work?
Yeah.
Free weights, lifting weights, just being in the gym. I would do splits and I'm just not seeing the results I want. And like I said, free weights just ain't my thing. So there's nothing you can do to convince me to use them.
There's nothing I can do.
No, I'm not touching them.
So what made you have this disdain towards these weights that you have?
I don't really want to get into that. It's my own personal thing. You know what I mean? But I want to train with you and I want to build muscle mass. So what do we do? Because I'm not doing free weights.
So I can't help you if you can't help yourself. So the thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm saying, look, what goals do you want to accomplish going into it? So,
I would like for you to develop a plan for me without the free weights. Is that possible?
It can be, right? But at the end of the day, free weights are one of the best things to do for your body functionally and universally. So when it comes to having a barbell under you, do you like barbells?
I might mess with them. It just depends. I'd like for you to break down what kind of workout scheme you can give
so
me.
I want you to walk me through, first of all, what I'd have to do an assessment, right? We'll start there. I have to see how your body works. From there, we can see, one, what we have to correct. And then two, I'll build a framework from there. So I can't sit here and say, I'm gonna build this program for you and then be like, boom, good luck.
Right.
Until I figure out what's not working, till I feel like what is compensating somewhere and why maybe I can see where the problem for your hate for free weights developed.
Yeah.
So I have a really detailed assessment I want you to come through. All you gotta do ain't nothing crazy. All you're gonna do is do a certain movements. I wanna see how your body works inside and out, and we can figure out the plan from there.
Okay, perfect. The reason I use that as an example, are you okay with losing clients, and is there such thing as a bad client? Is there a situation where you come to a wall and you say, hey, this just isn't gonna work out, and you okay with that? Wipe your hands, go to the next client. Is that a scenario that personal trainers can run across, and is it common?
It's 100%. And the problem is, it's with a lot of new trainers. A lot of new trainers want to get people in. I want to get as many people in as possible. I don't care who they are. I'm trying to get bread. I want to get as many people in who, no matter who they are, I don't care if you're big, small, you got this problem, you're stubborn. There is such thing as a bad client.
And I want you to and tell me correct me if I'm wrong. When you get a client, right? I don't think people understand what they expect from you. It's almost like a marriage. It really is. Because they gonna blame you for a lot. They gonna expect a lot from you, and then they want access to you outside of the gym. And what I mean by that, they might text message, I'm working on this today, can you do this? How do you balance that? And how do you get them to understand, like, this is the plan? And how do you balance that relationship? Is that something that's true? Like, it's a big responsibility to take on a client.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Really good question. But you have to build all of that on the front end. The more that you make them see in themselves on the front end, or that you expose on the front end, the more of a return you'll get on the back end. Right. So if you sit here and say, hey, look, you want me to be the coach to hold you accountable for X, Y, and Z. If we're gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do my half. I'm here. If you're paying me, I'm gonna do my part, regardless, right? I'll give you your homework. I'll give you your corrective exercises. I'll give your plan. All you have to do is do X, Y, and Z on the back end. At the end of the day, training is a negotiation. It's a quid pro quo, this for that. If I'm gonna sit here, if you expect this out of me, I'm gonna expect this out of you, and we have to meet in the middle. I'm gonna hold your hand through it, but you have to continue to relay that message and let them understand, like, this is your why, and this is on day one when you told me, this is what I wanna accomplish, this is what I wanna do with my body, this is what I want you to fix. If you're gonna hold me accountable to making these happen, I have to continue to hold you accountable for what I want you to do.
Have you ever been caught in the blame game where they're trying to place blame on you and they're just not doing what they need to do?
Early on, yeah, and it was a hard thing to navigate through because I was new to training. Right. But the more you have conversations with people and the more you're honest with them up front, the easier that conversation is going to be on the back end.
One thing, like I can speak from my own experiences, because, you know, working out is great. Obviously, you stay consistent, wake up, do your thing. I feel like I struggled with sleep and getting the amount of rest or recovery, and definitely food. Do you see that in a lot of your clients? On how do you gauge that conversation? Like, what are some things you tell them about that?
100%.
How do you handle it?
Yeah, so like, honestly, so our intake process is like, if say you and me were to have an assessment, right? You came in on a Monday like, hey, look, our assessments can be anywhere from 35 minutes to an hour long, right? Going through the body, but like half of it is us sitting down and talking. I want to get to know you. You want to get to know me and see if we're a good fit for each other. Because hell, you can tell me all these goals, and at the end of the day, I'm like, honestly, I can't help you with this. Or you can be like, you're cool. I don't like you as a trainer. But navigating through stuff like sleep and like stressors and every day, these are the questions that I ask in my assessment. I'll ask, like, how's your eating? if you can grade yourself from A to F, what would your eating be like? Walk me through a day of eating, right? Or what are your daily stressors? Do you have kids at home that you have to appease? Do you have a wife at home who's angry all the time? Do you have? I'm as honest as possible up front, and that's why my clients, they love me, because I'm the one that has that honest conversation with them up front. If you be real with me, I'm gonna be real with you. We're completely transparent. This is a relationship. This is not transactional. So I'm completely in of like, hey, look, let me know what's going on. I'm your friend before your trainer. I'm gonna hold you accountable, but I need to know where your mind is at, and I want to know what's stressing you out. I want to know what happened today, why your energy was low in this session as opposed to 2 weeks ago. And then we have to have that relationship to be able, you be honest with me and I'll be honest with you, and I can correct those. But we can't do that if you sit here and be like, well, I'm fine. I'm okay. Like, you know? So you have to build that relationship from day one. If you set the expectation, you set the bar high of you as a trainer, and you sell yourself to the point where I can tell this man anything. Then boom, from there it's like, hey, I can have that talk with him. Hey, I'm not eating the way I'm supposed to. All right, let's walk me through it. Let's see where we can fit in. Why are you eating out 5 days a week?
Are you still a vegan?
Me, I'm vegetarian. Yeah.
Where's you vegan before? Or was it vegetarian?
No, it was always vegetarian.
Trick question.
Sure. Yeah, no.
So how do you feel about that as far as when it comes to working out compared to like a person that might eat meat? Are you like, how does your diet work with your workouts?
Oh, I'm not biased at all, because I know that there's a lot of high-end protein. There's a lot of nutrients that come from eating meat. It's just a personal choice for me, right? So I've been vegetarian for 2 years now. And it just started, I started eating one type of meat less every single time. It started with pork, then beef went away, then chicken went away, then turkey, then salmon, and shrimp. Everything just went away, and I was like, all right, I'm overseas in Abu Dhabi, and their diet is Mediterranean. It was easy for me.
Yeah.
So I learned how to navigate through that, but at the same time, it's like, I know what good qualities come from eating meat. So it's just like, if you want me as a nutrition coach, I can tell you, all right, you're not a vegetarian, bet you can eat this, this, and this in moderation. I can tell you how to fix your plate and have a nutritional diet and be able to meet your goals the same way as if you didn't eat meat.
Yeah, I give you props on that too, because you keep it open. We've had a discussion one time. You told me, don't get it twisted. I've had situations where I had craving for meat, but I just got to fight that urge. It ain't like it's a personal choice for your own personal reason. It ain't like you pushing like trying to, you know how they go super vegetarian, vegan, don't fuck with meat.
Yeah.
You know, I was pushing like don't eat meat.
I was vegan for 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I was vegan for 3 years.
I tried it for like 2 weeks and I got fat as fuck.
I ain't doing that, bro. You got me.
I was eating a shit ton of stuff. I want to be intentional with leaving people with something beneficial before we let you go. I think this would be the best way to do it. A person is very, very busy, has an active career, but not so much an active lifestyle, that has fitness goals they want to meet. We're in the beginning of the new year. I think it's perfect. They can't make it to the gym as often, but they want to get some workouts in. This is for men and women. Can you give them some advice on some things they can do at home, or some things some certain areas of focus where they can get better gains in a little amount of time? You know, if that makes sense, like basically workout routines.
First, it really doesn't even start with a workout routine. It starts with like looking at your life in retrospect. Look at everything in totality and be like, hey, what can I allocate? You spend time doing something. There's 24 hours in a day. Even if you have a busy work schedule, you allocate time for the things that you want to do. So how high is your health and your fitness on that list of your priorities that you want to accomplish each day? Right. So start with that. If you can't build that foundation, that's the start of it. How high is my health on my priority list? If you can start there, and then you're like, all right, bro, I want this to be next to work, God, and my family. Cool. Bet. Now we got somewhere to work. So once you can do that, you can build that schedule. Then you can understand, like, look, I can allocate this time. I can wake up an hour early. It's almost, at that point, it's discipline.
Right.
How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to accomplish your goals as much as you want to appease to your wife or appease to your boss at home or make your work schedule? So it's like, it's all about allocation.
Yeah.
For me, like once I say like, build your foundation, and then we build a schedule from there. So we can allocate that. So it's like, you can start working out at home. Maybe you don't like being in a public setting when you go to the gym. Maybe you can't afford a trainer. So it's like, there's workouts. One, you got to find your pain point. What problem are you trying to solve, right? If you have lower back pain, you want to fix it. What do you want to do? You can ask somebody to give you homework at home, or you can ask for an online trainer, whatever the case may be. But it's like, you have to learn. You have to be real with yourself first before you sit here and ask somebody else for a service. right?
Well said. Well said. Hey, y'all heard that? Y'all got some homework. Y'all, you got to sit down, have a conversation with yourself, and make time for the things you want and you need. I couldn't have said it better. Is it? Can you answer this question? Break this stigma. Do you got to work out every day?
No.
Can you give a number or a range of what's a safe number? Or is there, like, you know what I mean? Like, give some people something to work with. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Completely honest. You can. It's not what you do in the gym that matters. It's what you do outside the gym. If you can work out 2 to 3 times a day and be just as strong as somebody who works out 6 times a day.
Right.
It's about how you do it and what you do on the outside. Are you moving when you outside that gym? Mm-hmm. Are you walking? Are you engaging in something active when you're outside the gym? Because if you're not, then it's like then you got to work out more. But it's like 2 to 3 times a week. Honestly, you can see results.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
I got a bunch of, my bad. I got one more.
Go ahead. Because I'm open.
I'm about to throw
Hey, hit my brain,
is there
man.
a stigma around working out in the morning or in the evening? Will you get a better result out of either one? Is there a better energy in the morning? Or, that person getting out, waiting and getting off of work and then going to the gym? What do you think about that? Is there a better out of the other or just get it done?
Morning or afternoons?
There is not a difference.
Not a difference.
Not a difference, man.
I would debate you on that on another day. But
it's not a difference. The only reason I want to say this is like the reason why there's not a difference is because everybody's different.
Right, everybody's different.
Not everybody wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and has high energy. Some people wait till at the end of the day because that's when they have the most energy and opening.
Yeah.
So it's like it's person to person, it's case by case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a reason you've been dodging us on basketball?
Oh my God.
My shoes are in the car, cuz. My shoes are in the car.
Someone didn't do their homework.
Yeah, I got shoes, I got a ball, I got a pump. We can go in the dark.
Cool.
Nah, man, that's crazy.
Did you play overseas too a little bit?
No, so like I played in the intramural leagues that we posted. So I played on a base.
Okay.
So everything that we did was with the military, and it was like we just ran intramural leagues to keep them, spirits high, man. Give them something to do. And I got to hoop in their leagues, and it was fun, bro.
Does lifting weights fuck with your basketball game?
Not if you're smart about it.
But why does it with a lot of people, honestly?
When they lift too hard and they don't have the sense of a basketball and workout balance, one is going to overcompensate for the other.
You'll see that common in a football player trying to jump into a basketball game,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or like basketball was my number one, but I turned to weights. Bro, I look trash on the court.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it, even when you try to do both, like, how do you balance it? And because it seems weird, like when you lifting heavy, you lifting weights.
Yeah.
It's always fucked with my game, it felt like.
Yeah. You really just gotta, it's a balance. Even when I was hooping and working out at the same time, it's like, you gotta have your 2 or 3 days where you work out hard, and you gotta have those 2 or 3 days where you work out on the court.
Basketball game of finesse.
It's a game of finesse. So you gotta even like practicing working out and just shooting after your workout to loosen up your muscles. First of all, because all of them tight.
Bro, yeah. Lifting weights will
This
fuck your shot.
is a stretch for me. I got tomorrow. I actually got this spot I gotta go to. But the stretching, it's the stretching.
The stretching, man.
How are you when it comes to stretching? Like over there, like a diamond cut.
Dude,
is that something big?
Oh my God, yeah. It's one of the foundations. Stretching and just like corrective exercise, they're one and the same thing. But it's like stretching is a foundation for anything. If you're tight, you gotta feel like where you're compensating somewhere else, and you gotta stretch that part or strengthen that part, and just learn the balance of it. But yeah.
All right. And see, the more we dive into it, now I want to keep fucking with them.
Yeah, hey look,
I
I'm
want to
here.
play a game. You tell me which one you go with, or which one you would tell people to go with.
Let's get it.
Even you can't opt out. You got to pick one.
Yeah, you got to
Rapid fire. Let's
All
get
right,
it.
you ready?
Yeah.
White rice or brown rice?
White.
White. Okay. Broccoli or spinach?
Spinach.
Let me jump into this. Chicken or beef?
If I wasn't vegetarian, chicken.
Okay.
All right. I got another one. Balanced diet or intermittent fasting?
Balanced diet.
Okay.
You rapid fire.
Boom, boom. I'm ready, bro.
Vegan or vegetarian?
Vegetarian, man.
Okay.
Okay. Is 6 hours of sleep just as beneficial 7 to 8, or it makes a big difference in between the two? If I get my 6, they say it's 6 now. If I get my 6, I'm still good to go.
I feel like it. Yes, sir.
So you think the 8 hours might have just been, they might have just had it wrong after all these years. That's why they switched to 6.
I don't want to say that. I think science changes and everything changes.
Based off.
Yeah. As
progression.
life progresses and evolves, the times like change with it.
I got you. Calisthenics or weights?
Oh shit!
Yeah, then I was there. He took
What are we trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
We trying to look good.
It depends on the goals. You want to look good, generally looking good, bro. Calisthenics. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You got another one for him?
I was gonna say, how do you feel about cold plunges?
Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, super.
You got to
good.
give him a struggle. You got to give him two things.
Yeah.
We jumped off. I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had another one.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah, I think I had another one. I fucking lost it. I lost it. Oh yeah. Hit cardio or long distance cardio?
Hit.
Okay.
Love the hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Explain why. Is it better for weight loss, or you get better results, or just because it's a personal preference?
A little bit of all three. So I mean, I love hit. Low key a hit king, bro. There's multiple exercises you can do with hit. Long distance is just one way, right? You know what I'm saying? But like hit, you can do 100 different exercises and they be considered hit. It just depends on how you do it. You work with different body parts.
I love hit, man.
Yeah.
I ain't been doing it like I need to. We need to get back on.
Yeah,
Hit.
that's what I started on.
Y'all need to come on down to the gym, man. Y'all need to
Started with, remember six-pack shortcuts?
You went on a rant. You said abs are made in the gym and the kitchen. I'm gonna apply pressure on you. Where are they predominantly made at?
They start in the kitchen.
They start in the kitchen.
If we're gonna be honest, they start in the kitchen.
So a lot of people don't realize they got them abs there already. We just covering it up, the bloated, the diet.
Yep.
Okay, so what's some advice you can give people when they trying to make those abs in the kitchen? Good nutrition choices.
If you're trying to cut the abs, listen to this. Cut down on your carbs. And it doesn't mean cut them out. It just means cut down. Instead of having a burger and fries, have burgers and a vegetable. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Cut down on your carbs and then just hit, bro. I'm telling you right now, if you hit and you just limited your carb intake, the carbs go straight here. No matter what anybody says, carbs go straight here. But if you sit here and just have a balance of a good carb, a good protein, and then creatine is the most studied substance out there in the world right now. If you have that in your diet with your water intake and just pay attention to it, it starts in the kitchen, it's sculpted in the gym.
Right.
That's
I agree
simple.
with that.
Well, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. Why do you feel like a lot of people struggle with the carbs?
Because a lot of people like food.
Food is addicting, man.
Food is addictive.
Especially carbs.
Yeah.
You said it was Abu Dhabi, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel it is food wise there compared to here back in America?
1,000 times better.
Over there.
Yes. Like believe it or not, America is the biggest country in the world from weight. Mortality rate is so much higher here. Yeah, it's bad. People are dying of early age because of obesity, not because of and heart disease, because of food that we eat. Over there, their food is clean. Their food is like, it's a whole different world. The produce that I've seen out there in comparison to here is like night and day.
When I went over to Greece, man, I was like, if I could get this shit every day.
Every day.
Like, you know, how
Even
the
the bread
little
is
small plate you
dangerous.
grabbed today with the hummus.
Yeah.
Like, it make you feel better about when you do get around to that pita bread because they loading it up with vegetables.
Yeah.
It's fresh, the hummus, the fucking chickpeas. You ain't see, and then when you do see the meat portion, you ain't seeing a big ass piece of meat. You seeing a few pieces of protein that
It's
you
a
actually
small
need.
portion, bro.
Yeah.
If I could do that every day, which I probably could,
You'd have an
making
8-pack.
excuses. Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
I think they just don't have as much choices to make. For example, like I went to Austria, same thing. Like their bread, but you could tell the difference in the bread. It's not
processed
starchy.
over. Yeah, it's
how
not
it is out
processed
here.
over.
Starchy.
Yeah, everything here is processed, man.
Yeah,
It's
factory-driven
insane,
shit.
bro.
Why do you? I'm curious. What do you have a theory on that? Why do you think that is?
Mass production, and it's just like America trying to meet a protocol for what?
Yeah, it's
for
more
the
profitable, profitable country, man.
People love fast food out here. People love fried stuff. America's the land of fried stuff. So it's like, if I can get French fries, if I can get bread, if I can get everything fried and grease and everything, that tastes better and it applies, and then people love it in America as opposed to overseas. Yeah. So it's just a supply and demand. It's really huge.
If I'm trying to get big and build muscle,
Yeah.
and you know how you'll see it everywhere online, bodybuilders or people that's big into fitness, they say you got to eat a decent amount of food even when you're not hungry. Is that true? Like you need to be taking in a high calorie count if you're trying to build that muscle?
Absolutely.
Or that's true?
It is true.
So if I'm feeling full still, you know what I mean? Like if your body, I feel like your body kind of tells you what it's feeling.
Yeah.
You got to ignore that sometimes?
Sometimes you do. If you're in a bulk phase, if you want to bulk clean, it just depends on what you eat. So if you space out your meals enough, so say like you want to gain 20 pounds, you got to eat 6 meals a day. It sounds crazy, But if you're not eating 3 huge meals a day. You're
right.
eating high protein dense meals on this hour, on this hour, on this hour. You're eating high carb and vegetable on this hour, this hour, and this hour.
Yeah.
You got to structure your schedule to fit what you want to help accomplish. So
okay, I'm taking some tips from myself.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey man, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, and we gonna make sure we put in the description where y'all can find my boy.
Yes, sir.
Down there at Diamond Cut Athlete. He doing things down there. You can check out his content online. This is the Map Social presents the Dirty Laundry Podcast. Y'all know what it is.
Let's get it, man.
For more.
Yes, sir.
Got you.